Hey everybody, Rob Martin with Exercise Man Fitness. How you doing today? Hopefully great. If not, change that right now. Today we're going to talk about what do athletes want the most? What kind of questions do they have? So we're going to get started right away. A good question and a highly asked question is, how can I get faster? I need to work on my speed. Well, it's all going to depend on the sport that you're involved in. If you're in cross country, you're going to do something different than if you're on the football team. Football, the average play lasts 7 to 8 seconds. So you're going to want to do things that, for cardio, for your endurance, for your sport, that are related to that. And cross country is a longer exercise. In high school it's a 5K. So you're going to want to do something that tailor fits that aspect of your sport. You're going to want to work on running form. A lot of things can go wrong with running form, with the arms and the legs and the head. So you want to make sure that you work on perfecting your running form because that can help increase your speed. Your reaction time is another thing that you can work on. A great thing to work on reaction time is just to have someone hang on to 2 tennis balls with outstretched arms and drop one or the other, and you got to get off the block from your standing position and get to that ball before it bounces twice. Another thing you can work on is quickness. You need to work on your quickness, and you can do drills just as simple as putting a jump rope or a resistance band or an imaginary line on the floor and jumping back and forth as you can, as fast as you can, to try to work on that quickness, that foot speed. You can do that side to side, front to back. There's a lot of different drills you can do for quickness. That's just a quick one. Another question I get asked a lot is, how can I become more agile on the court or on the field? Agility is a huge part of sports. The first thing you probably should do, or the first thing you need to do, is work on your balance. Because with better balance, you're better able to get the body in a position and ready to move to the next direction you've got to go. So work on balance, and that's as easy as standing on one foot, and do that with your eyes closed, or get some of those like a Bosu ball or those Dynadiscs that have air in them, and stand on those and do different exercises with those. It's a good start. Another thing to do is don't always go in a straight motion, so don't just run straight sprints to work on your agility. You need to move front to back, side to side. You need to add some of the transverse playing in there and get some twisting in. We'll talk about what I'm talking about there in a few minutes. A good drill for that is the staggered cone drill. If you put some cones on a court or a field, you can stagger them so that the athletes have to run agility-wise. I don't know if you can see that. So if they start, this is backwards here, you're going to hit the opposite cones and you're going to run to these cones, right, as fast as you can, all the way to the end, which is over here. So that's a great drill to do. They're going to sprint to the cone, touch the cone, sprint to the next cone, so that they're getting some different motion in, getting that posterior kinetic chain involved when they have to get low and then stand back up and sprint to the next cone. So it's a great exercise, another simple one that they can do. Again, there are a lot of other drills. That's just one that I'm showing you. Another question I get asked a lot, how can I get bigger? And this is usually from guys. How can I put on some size? A big thing with this is your maturity level. A lot of people, a lot of kids in high school just aren't ready. Their hormones aren't going the right way. Their bodies aren't ready to put on all that size. So you might just have to hold tight, but you can still perform the exercises and work out in the weight room to build on that size and eat a quality source of protein. I did a segment on TV and I had said 25 to 40 grams of protein per day based on the question she asked, but what I meant was 25 to 40 grams per meal or post-workout. You should have a quality source of protein for each meal and post-workout if you are trying to put on size. So be sure to follow that. Well, the last question, how can I prevent injury? This is a huge one. A lot of people work out in the workout rooms with athletics and they forget about moving the body in all 3 planes of motion. We have the frontal plane, which is side to side, which is kind of confusing because you'd think frontal would be front to back. But no, we need to move and exercise side to side because in sports you're moving side to side. So while you're strength training, you need to get some exercises where you're moving side to side. The sagittal plane, which is front to back, which is what we're doing a lot of movement in, is in the front to back plane. This is the sagittal plane, this way. Okay? A lot of exercises are in that plane. And I'm not saying to get rid of them, so you can still do those, but we need to add some into the frontal and the transverse plane, which is the last plane, the transverse plane. That's where you're doing some movement twisting. Okay? So this is in the, you need to add that to your workout. Doing these things is going to help prevent injury. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the proprioceptors. These things are put in place to help protect your body. And you need to do different things in the weight room, like lift slow, lift fast, use your full range of motion. All these different types of things, and you need to move in those different planes, are going to stress and tax those proprioceptors so they can get used to different motions so that they can help protect your body when something may happen. That's my advice for the day. Good luck. Be sure to check out exercisemanfitness.com and make it a great day. Remember to live fit, that's forever in tune with your mind, body, and life.